Let's talk important task and side quests. This framework of side quests is all over the place in ADHD communities, and it is so true. Okay, so yesterday was a great example. I had all the time in the world. I am now fully self-employed. I had a hit list of things I needed to do. I just could not get into doing them. Okay, so I even had it prioritized. Top 3. If I get these done, I have won the day. All the other stuff, great. Could not do them. It's a very hard thing to explain to people who are neurotypical, who are not ADHD. It is not laziness. It is not procrastination. It is like it's like you have 2 brains, which duh, I know I don't. There's 1 brain in here, okay? It's like everybody else. It is like, hey, I see the thing. I know the thing. I actually really want to do this. Hello, this is tied to my livelihood now. I know I need to do these things before I can do these other things that are going to flow into that. This is what I've been fighting for. Then there's the other brain of like, oh, but wait, there's this other thing that you want to do that it is not as important, but for some reason it's like sitting here in my brain. Yesterday, this is because I have a Christmas tree project. Okay, my space is very small, whatever. If I put my full tree up, it's going to eat up half of the living room and like it's not going to go well. So I've thought to myself, I'm like, okay, I need to give myself some lead time before the holidays are actually here to figure this out, because I might need to make something special. I might need to modify this tree. I might need to, okay, so it's a project. Nothing to do with my livelihood, okay? It is not even Thanksgiving yet. I've got plenty of time, according to most of people who you would ask, right? But this thing, I had written it on a sticky note. So in my brain, that's a thing I need to do. ADHD brains, you feel like you either need to do it right now or not now. We are in a constant, our normal state of being is overwhelm. Okay, so for a neurotypical who's feeling very stressed out and overwhelmed, think of how that feels for you. Like when it's really stressful, when it's really, you've got 20 irons in the fire, you're just running around like your head's cut off, everything feels like it has to happen right now. That is the baseline for ADHDers. We are used to operating in life feeling like that, which is why seemingly little things, seemingly inconsequential things, thinking about cooking dinner at any given moment, having to take a shower, little inconsequential things, someone interrupts something we're doing, can tip us over the edge. It can create an emotional response that does not fit with the seemingly small thing that just happened, because we're constantly on this verge of burnout. It is why overwhelm and burnout are like, we just kind of live right on that line. So we tip into burnout very frequently and very easily to anyone who's like watching it happen. It's like, why is this the straw that broke the camel's back? Because it just is, because I live here. I live here. So something changes. Oh my God. There's also emotional dysregulation. That is part of it. Executive dysfunction. Being able to prioritize things, because we don't prioritize things based on importance. Our brain wants to do what it wants to do that is interesting. For me yesterday, that was getting this Christmas tree project out of my brain. So, that became my side quest yesterday, and I nailed it, and I got it done, and I can remove that sticky note and whatever. Then it was still trying to fight to sit down to cross these things off my list. How do you overcome that? What I have learned is I understand what's happening. I now understand why I struggle with this stuff. I am not mad at myself. I am not berating myself. I am not saying, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just do the thing? I understand the struggle that is going on here. It is so weird. It is like you have two brains. It is like there is an internal conflict happening. And now I understand it. I thought everyone was that way. They're not. So getting diagnosed was like, oh, actually getting diagnosed didn't do a whole lot because they give you like nothing. They gave me a write-up. Hey, maybe try to break big tasks down into smaller ones so it's not so overwhelming. And here, you can now experiment with medication if you want to. That's what diagnosis actually did in terms of like what I received from the medical community. What it gave me was peace of mind, like legit. Trust yourself, man. Trust your intuition, trust your gut. As I had figured some things out for myself, I'm like, there is something, I know I'm different. I know that there's just times that life feels harder for me, and why am I struggling to do this? And other people, they just roll with it. So it allowed me even more acceptance of myself. And I had already done so much work on that. And that is what that is my philosophy. That is what I will help coach people with. That is learning how to be curious about yourself, just wanting better for yourself, wanting different for yourself. That's okay. If we don't do that for ourselves, all we're trying to do is meet something from the outside world telling us we should be this way, should be that way. Oh, go get the things, go get the stuff, and then this means you made it. Like, dude, you have to define that for yourself. For me, I wanted to feel less anxious. I wanted to feel not broken. I wanted to accept that I know that I'm weird. Okay. Also, that's kind of an iffy term because what's weird? I don't mind being different. What does that mean? I'm going to show up. I'm going to own it. I'm going to be who I am. I move with integrity. Intention matters. I'm not trying to disrupt anyone's flow. I'm trying to do me the best that I can. I am the only me. You are the only you. That's special. Don't be trying to be someone else. Be you, own it, love it. If you don't like you, that's where your work is. If you don't like you, why? You get to choose how you're going to show up. You get to choose how to change yourself. And also know what you can change, what you can't change. Knowledge is power. There is a reason that is a saying. Knowledge is power. If you think you're neurotypical, or if you think you're neurodivergent, or if you think you have some other health issue, like, get the knowledge, be curious about it, and learn about yourself. There is no shame tied to that. There is no guilt tied to that. There is no I am broken tied to that. That is just go learn about yourself. Be curious about yourself, get the knowledge, get the education about it, and you can connect the dots again from a place not with any shame. You're just gonna be curious. You know what else that does? It grows compassion for yourself. With those two things combined, whoa, you can do anything. You'll learn yourself more. Learning yourself helps you set healthy boundaries, helps you pick your people, helps you change your environment to what serves you best so that you can serve the world or whatever you are called to do. You can show up for your kids, you can show up for your partner, you can show up in your workplace, you can show up in your home. You can show up in your life when you have a greater understanding of yourself. How did I get here talking about a damn Christmas tree? This is also part of it, okay? So I embraced yesterday because I knew what was happening. it got to a point in the day where I said, hey, here's what I can do. I dealt with the Christmas tree. That project is done, completed, side quest, nailed it. I don't have to think about it again. Great, that's not gonna be sitting in my brain. To prepare for today, I sat down with my list and checked it off, revisited it, knew what was on the radar for today. Did what I needed to do last night to prepare for today. So I have had focus this morning. I have done the things. I still have more things to do. But it's all coming from a place of, I understand what's happening. Let's pay attention to right now. And what can we do moving forward to do the things? It is not perfect. There will be another day. It might even happen later today where I or an energy dip happens or something goes awry. That's life. No matter who you are, there will be things that pull you off track. Don't let yourself be one of them because you're beating yourself up over it. I was off track yesterday. I also understood why. I tried to get there. It was not happening. I was not going to beat myself up and sit in the spiral of doom and being mad at myself. I understood what was happening. So I did what I could, leaned into it, got the damn tree up, did the modifications to it. And my list of stuff is still sitting there to do, and that is okay. In this circumstance, that was okay. If you're ADHD, you also know if there were actual consequences to that, I would have pulled it out at the last minute and gotten it done because we work really well under real pressure. That's also something we know, and we can thrive on the anxiety that causes, and it's not necessarily healthy either. So learning all of this stuff about yourself is key, and learning what works for you in any given moment, learning what your tools are, learning to lean into it, paying attention, having the knowledge, being curious, and having compassion. And then what's the next step of action that you can do? It's a choice. It's a choice. And with an ADHD brain, it is like, which part of the brain are you given the power to? It's so weird. My ADHDers, I know you can relate to this. Neurotypicals, you're gonna be like, you're effing crazy. I get it. But know that there are a large number of people who relate to this, and it feels crazy sometimes. But crazy also doesn't have to mean bad, and crazy also doesn't have to mean wrong. It's just different. So for any of you out there who don't relate, it's a chance for you to be curious about others and compassionate towards others, and know that not everybody works the same way. So I need to end this because I just do. And thanks for listening if you're still here. If you have tasks today that you just can't get keyed into, be kind to yourself. Take a moment away. Maybe you need food. Maybe you need water. Maybe you need sunshine. Maybe you need lift a couple weights, do a couple body weight squats. Maybe you need to just step outside and get your face out in the air. Maybe you need to call a friend because you're feeling disconnected or alone. There could be a whole lot of things, and all of these things can just help you get out of this doom of feeling like, oh, I failed. What is wrong with me? I can't do the thing that's sitting right in front of me. Acknowledge that's what's happening and take an action that feels good. That thing will still be there for you to do. You can tap into that at a later moment. And if there's real pressure and real consequences on it, you're going to do it when it has to be done. If you can get to it before then, so you're not running on anxiety, that's great. And that's one of my goals. I don't want to function like that all the time. So do your best. If it's a tough day, that's okay. Everyone has them. If it's a tough moment, just let it be a tough moment. maybe don't let that be your whole day. Okay? You do you. Trust yourself. Be kind to yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You do not need to be fixed. You are human, and you probably need something for yourself. So you figure that out and you move on, and it's all going to be fine. Okay? Take care.